Hi, hello, how are you all? Welcome to my channel Law Made Simple with me Vidya Reddy. Today, in this series of Public International Law, let us learn about one of the organs of the United Nations Organization, Security Council, and its veto and double veto powers. Security Council is a principal organ of the United Nations. The Chapter 5 of the Charter, consisting of Articles 23 to 27, lay down the provisions relating to Security Council. As we know, the composition of Security Council has 11 members and it was enlarged to 15 members in 1965 by the amendment. Out of 15 members, 5 are the permanent members. Who are the 5? China, Russia, France, UK and the USA. The other 10 members of the Security Council are permanent, non-permanent members and are elected by the General Assembly for a term of every 2 years. But each year, election of 5 members takes place with equal number of members retiring after completing the term of 2 years. And a retiring member will not be eligible immediately after the election. And therefore, many states are eligible for this membership of the council, and each member of the Security Council will have a representative in the council meetings. Functions of the Security Council. The functions of the Security Council can be broadly classified under maintenance of international peace, some other miscellaneous functions and functions related to ICJ. In maintenance of international peace, we can divide the maintenance in peaceful means and by enforcement action. So, the maintenance of international peace and security is the primary responsibility of the Security Council, and it has been conferred in Article 24 of the Charter. And this council performs the functions relating to the maintenance for the international peace and security in two ways, one by peaceful means and other by enforcement action. By peaceful means, if the Security Council determines that the dispute might endanger the international peace and security, then it will settle the disputes by calling upon the parties to settle the disputes peacefully, or by investigation on the dispute, and by recommendation for appropriate procedures or methods of adjustment, and by recommendation for the terms of settlement. By taking enforcement action, once the council has determined that there is a threat to the peace, at any aggression it has committed, the power of enforcement action will take into consideration. Where it is written, the chapter 7 of the charter is written, by taking enforcement action also, the Security Council can settle the disputes if there is a threat to the peace or breach of peace. And we have, according to the articles 41 and 42 of the UN Charter. So, the international peace and security, by using no use of force or by using some armed forces. And what are the miscellaneous functions done by the Security Council? It will recommend the General Assembly for admission of a new member, suspending or expelling a member, controlling the strategic area of trust territories, amendment of trusteeship agreements, appointment of Secretary General of the United States, conveying special session or an emergency special session of the General Assembly, establishing subsidiary organs. Functions and in relation to the International Court of Justice. As we all know that International Court of Justice is also one of the principles of the United Nations organizations, and this court performs all the functions which according to the statutes of the United Nations Charter. So, the veto power which is regulated by the 5 permanent members of the Security Council, and the subject is relative only to the substantive matters, not to the procedural matters. So, a permanent member can also block the selection of the Secretary General through a formal veto, which is unnecessary because the vote is taken behind the closed doors. This veto power of the 5 permanent members, what are the 5 permanent members? China, Russia, France, USA and USSR. They stipulate the decisions on non-procedural matters, because procedural matters they don't have any power. They take decisions on the non-procedural matters along with the 9 members of the council. It means that no decision can be taken on the council on such matters if the dissenting vote is given by any permanent member. It implies that if the permanent member wishes that no decision should be taken by the council on any particular issue, it has the power to do so by giving dissenting vote. So, if the at least one of the permanent member doesn't want the UN Council to go further in such matters, then it will give a dissenting vote. Thus, by giving a dissenting vote, a permanent member has the power to block the issue on the council. In other words, if the concurring vote is withheld by a permanent member, the proposal shall be deemed devoted. So it is validly adopted. This permanent power is known as veto power. Double veto power. The right of veto may be exercised by the permanent members in two different occasions. Firstly, at the time of deciding that nature whether the matter is procedural or non-procedural. If the president of the council decides that particular matter is procedural, it becomes procedural, and if he decides that particular matter is non-procedural, it will become a non-procedural matter. Secondly, when the council is deciding on any non-procedural matters, a permanent member first asserts the matter not as a procedural but a non-procedural matter. It therefore makes a matter non-procedural from procedural by exercising the veto power. When the matter becomes non-procedural, it may again exercise the veto power at the time of deciding the same matter. The combined effect of this is nothing but the double veto power. The exercise of veto power on two different occasions has been referred to as double veto. The right of double veto was exercised first by Russia in the Spanish case, Czechoslovakia, and in Greek case. And in Formosa and Laos case, it was attempted, but it actually was not exercised. So this is the power of the permanent members, where they decide, the president of the council will decide whether the matter is procedural or not. If he decides that it is procedural, it will become procedural. If he says that it is a non-procedural, it will become a non-procedural matter. And the second thing is that because the permanent members cannot make decisions on the non-procedural matters, they first tell that this matter should be a non-procedural. So they convert the procedural matter into non-procedural matter into procedural, and by after becoming the procedural matter, they exercise the veto power. So they convert non-procedural into procedural by exercising one veto power, and by exercising the regular veto power, the procedural matters they will decide. So this becomes the exercising of two times the same veto power is nothing but the double veto. So this double veto power was first exercised by Russia.